Okay, guys, Knights Templar back here with Operation Zero Dark 30 with part 2 of the combat resolution for this turn. Like I said, let's just get right into it. I will say that Admiral Seabass had a really good turn 1 with the Eastern Pact. Took quite a few territories with the Russians here. Took Japan with the Chinese. He also took Turkey with the Caliphate. So Eastern Pact doing a lot right now. They're kind of like the Axis in 36. They just destroy everything right off the bat. So they're definitely the aggressors in this game. Yeah, so let's get into it. One thing that I did forget to mention is that since I did align Brazil, I do go up 4 from 38, but I do not receive it until my collect income. So that it is what it is. So we're going to start from left to right, and we're just going to do our combat moves and show where everything I'm moving, and then we'll get into the dice rolls. So let's just start over here. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. So we are attacking Panama and Venezuela. And since we're able to, since we did influence Brazil, we are able to use these 4 infantry, and they are going to go in and attack. Before we do the amphibious assault, we do have to get rid of this frigate here, which is fine. I don't see why we can't. So this fighter here from southeastern United States is going to participate in Panama. We're going to go 1-2 here. So we'll have 2 movements left. This airborne from southeastern United States is also going to come in here into Panama, as well as this helicopter. This helicopter up here in northern United States is going to do, let's see, it's going to move. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, be a part of that, and like I said, it'll land in Caribbean Sea. Because I don't see why not. We won't take that frigate out. So this fighter here is going to join. I mean, he's going to hit this frigate. This drone is going to move 1 and attach it to that fighter there. And I'm also going to bring down a cruise missile destroyer. And let's see. And this helicopter is going to come off this LHD here and is going to attack the sub in Central Atlantic, along with this frigate that we got from Brazil. We're going to go up 1-2 and hit that. This LHD will pick up these 2 infantry, and it's gonna move down. And we're gonna land. I'm gonna keep them on here, but they will land in Panama. So that is what we're doing there. Actually, this fighter that was off this carrier is gonna come in here, be part of this battle here, because we'll have 3 shots to hit that. We have 3 at 8 to hit that frigate, and I don't see why we won't have a shot at it. So, and this sub is gonna come down 1 here, and we're gonna fire a cruise missile at Panama. So I'm gonna go grab a cruise missile marker and hit that. We're also gonna bring another cruise missile off of southeast United States and bring that down as well. So we'll have 2 cruise missiles, an airborne, a fighter, and a helicopter going in there. And then in Venezuela, we got 4 infantry. Well, it'll be 2 infantry going in. Actually, you know what? These 2 infantry will go into Venezuela after we kill this frigate here. So that's exactly what we'll do. Okay, let's move up here for NATO. We're going to bring in this frigate here along with this drone. And we're going to pair it up with this helicopter here. And then this frigate here is going to move, let's see, how do we want to do this? I think that's what we can do. I don't think we can do anything else. They have this little symbol here, or I can move that. So we're gonna go 1, 2 down here and hit that sub. I believe I can do that. If not, Admiral Seabass, let me know, and I will. I'll just roll this separately from these 2, and we can figure that out. So let's go over here. We're gonna attack Scandinavia. I'm a little bit under the weather right now, but it's all good. So we are going to take this attack helicopter and we're going to move it 1 into Scandinavia. We're going to take this airborne. We're going to go 1, 2, hit Scandinavia as well. We're also going to bring in this fighter from England. We'll go 1, 2, and as well as this attack helicopter. And then we're going to take this LHD here. We're going to pick up an infantry from Denmark and an infantry from England, and we're going to bring them in as well. So we got quite a bit going in there, and this fighter is also going there as well. So that is what we got. Now, he did have an airborne in here, but he forgot that it defended at a 1, and he asked if I could just switch it to an infantry, and I said that's fine, because he let me put this sub on silent running because I didn't originally have it on silent running. So yeah, that is not a big deal at all whatsoever. So let's see. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and go to Africa, and we are going to attack the Egyptian Caliphate. So we are going to bring a sub from Eastern Mediterranean into Eastern, and we are going to fire a cruise missile. I'm going to get a cruise missile marker. Put that right there. We're also going to bring this fighter in. We're going to move it 1 into there. This LHD, we're going to pick up an infantry from Spain, and we're going to move it over 1, pick up this infantry from Greece. We're going to bring it in here. So that's what we got. We're also going to bring this fighter from France. We're going to go 1, 2 as well. So we got plenty of movements left with the aircraft. We're going to bring some U.S. units in there as well. So we're just going to stay right here. We're going to bring in this drone in there. We'll also fire a cruise missile from this sub into Egyptian Caliphate. Let me go ahead and get a cruise missile marker again for the U.S. They don't, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that drone is going to go in there. It's going to pair with this fighter here. And this attack helicopter is also going to join. So, and then in Egypt here, this very small, oop, I almost dropped my camera. That would have sucked. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to take this fighter here from Israel, and we are going to move it in here. So that is all going to be That's a nuclear cruise missile. Let me go grab a regular cruise missile. Be right back. There we go. Okay. All right. So I think that is all the attacks for the Middle East. A little bit of an overkill, but you know, it's whatever. Let's go ahead and go over to Asia here. Let's start over here. So this sub that's way up here, if you guys can see this, is going to go down 1, go off silent running, and they're going to fire a cruise missile into Southeast Asia. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to fire a cruise missile from India into Southeast Asia. And I'm going to take 2 subs and a cruise missile destroyer and do 3 more. So that's going to be a total of 5. So, and that is all that the Pacific Coalition have in regarding cruise missiles going in there. So he does have ABM. So he will get a counter for each cruise missile that goes in. This sub here from Wake Island, this US sub, is going to go down 1, 2. And they are also going to fire another cruise missile into Southeast Asia. So we got to get another cruise missile marker if I have any. I hope so. Let's see. If I don't, there we go. I got one. Never mind. There we go. Okay. So that is a total of 6 cruise missiles. All right, down here. Here in Australia, we're going to take this frigate, and we're going to go 1, 2 to attack that sub there. Also, this frigate here from Central Pacific is going to go up 1 as well and attack this sub. So... and then what's going to join them in that battle is this helicopter here is going to join them here. So it's going to move 1. Actually, you know what? No, this one's going to go 1 here. And this frigate here is going to go 1, 2 here to Wake Island. I believe. No, we'll just leave that for now. This helicopter is going to go 1, 2 and try to hit that. So we're going to try to knock out those subs. And then over here, yeah, here we go. We're going to take this frigate here. We're going to go up 1. This helicopter here is going to go 1, 2. I think that is all that I'm going to do in regards to that. I think that's all the combat that I'm looking at. Let me just glance around here and see if that's going to be it. I believe that is. So, yeah, I guess we're just trying to hit all. What, we got 5 subs that we're attacking. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and start over here. This battle, I don't need the battle board for these fights here. But I need to take out that frigate first before I land these 2 infantry into here. So let's go ahead and do this battle, this frigate here. So let's go ahead and roll the guided missile destroyer. That is at an 8. And that is a hit, so that's a 7. I'm gonna roll the the fighters, so it has a drone on it, so I'll just roll 2 8s, just in case. Okay, so yeah, that's the hits that we need. So frigate will defend at a 4, and that is an 8, so that's a miss. So that Russian frigate is gone, and those 2 infantry can now land to be part of that battle. Okay. And I have to remind myself that I'm going to get a 6-sided die. That one of these aircraft only has a movement of 1 left. Everyone else has a movement of 2 or 3, so they got plenty. But I'm just going to mark that this fighter here has a movement of 1. So, and then we can go ahead and land these 2 infantry there. So, okay, let's go ahead and resolve Panama. So in Panama, we have an airborne, 2 cruise missiles, a fighter, and a attack helicopter. The cruise missiles will have to fire first since it's first strike. So if we get 2 hits, that's all she wrote. So let's go ahead and roll 2 green die. So we're looking for 3s. So here we go. And they are misses all around. That's an 8 and a 5. So those cruise missiles are gone. So let me get those out of the way. So let's do the airborne at a 2. So airborne at a 2. That's a 1. That is a hit. Wow, got lucky there. So that is 1 hit. And then I have a fighter at an 8, since I do have next generation fighters. So an 8. That's a 10, that's a miss. And I have an attack helicopter at a 4. And that's a 4. Perfect. That's 2 hits. He gets to fire back. 2 at 4. 2 at 4. And he gets 1 hit. So I will take off the attack helicopter. And I will take that territory with an airborne. So now I'm thinking I should have brought those 2 infantry there instead, you know. But I think Venezuela is more important, honestly. Panama's whatever. So it is worth 1. So let's go ahead and adjust the board. Go up to 43. Oh, why is it Russia at 28? Did I not? They were at 32 at the start of the turn. Russia at 32. They go down 1 to 31. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and do this Venezuela battle here. So we've got 6 infantry and 2 fighters. So that is 6 at 2. So here we go, 6 at 2. And they all miss with an 8, 3, 10, 12, 12, and 11. So nothing. And we get 2 at 8. This die is, I mean, either way you look at it, it's a hit. So that's a 5 and an 8. So that's 2 hits. It wasn't cocked really. But Admiral, if you want me to re-roll that, I will. And he gets defending 2 at 4. And he gets 1 hit. So take off an infantry. So we take Venezuela with 5 infantry. Because the fighters will have to go back, so. And then we will go up 3, and the Russians will go down 3, so. Okay, let's go ahead and adjust that right now. So we go up to 46. Russians will go down 1, 2, 3 to 28. There we go. Okay. So that is all the combat that's over there. Now let's go ahead and do these combat here. So I talked to Admiral Seabass. He said that if I don't get any hits in the first round that he would submerge, but he said if I did get a hit, then he will fire back. So let's go ahead and roll this Central Atlantic battle here with 2 frigates and a attack helicopters. So, and if you attack in a lone sub by itself, the attacks of the frigates and the attack helicopters are halved. So they'll be attacking at a 2 instead of their normal attacks at 4. So let's go ahead and roll the attack helicopter and the frigate for the U.S. Those are misses with a 12 and an 8. Let's go ahead and roll the NATO frigate. And that's a miss. So he will submerge that sub. So that is, so this sub here is now submerged. So let's go ahead and do the mid-Atlantic here. So we got a NATO frigate and a attack helicopter. And I put a drone on there, so I'll get two at 4. I'll obviously have to choose the one that hits. So let's go ahead and roll the, I'm sorry, it'd be 2 at 2, my bad. So let's go ahead and do the frigate at 2. That's a 1. And let's go ahead and roll the 2 attack helicopters at 2. So those are misses. So at least we got the hit that we need. He will fire back. Sub does hit at a 4. So here we go. And that is a 10. So that is a miss. So that sub is taken out. Pretty happy he at least got rid of 1 out of the 2. That would have sucked. Even though I have a ship, even though I have 2 frigates here, I can still airlift, so, and sea lift, so it doesn't block me from doing it. But at least we got rid of that one. So, all right, let's go ahead and do Scandinavia. Again, this is not anything that we need to do in regarding battle board. So we've got, sorry guys, we've got an airborne, 2 infantry, 2 fighters, and 2 attack helicopters attacking 2 Russian infantry. So let's go ahead and get those rolled and see if we can take Scandinavia. It's a little bit of overkill, I will say, but it's you can never be sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the airborne at a 2. So here we go. That's a 10. That's a miss. And attack helicopters have a target select of 1. So let's roll the 2 attack helicopters. Those are both misses as well. See, that's what I'm talking about. You got to bring in some units to try to take them out. So let's do 2 infantry at 2. See, those are misses. And then we got 2 fighters at 6. Well, see, there you go. See, fighters always come through. So that's 2 hits. And then he's got 2 at 4. Infantry defending back. And that is 2 misses, a 6 and a 10. So we take Scandinavia again. Or not again, but we take it back. So, let me get a chip. Chip this infantry out here. So we take Scandinavia back with two infantry, an airborne, 2 attack helicopters, and 2 fighters. So let's go ahead and adjust the board so that we go up 3 for NATO. So we go up 1, 2. Yes, I'm sorry. So we're at 27. Go up 1, 2, 3. Go up to 30. Russia goes down 3. Go 1, 2, 3 down to 25. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 24. They go back down to the original income, I believe. So yeah, there we go. All right. So that takes care of that. And let's go ahead and go to the battle over there in the Middle East and North Africa. This will probably require a battle board. So I am just gonna bring these over. So, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shoot another American cruise missile from this air base here in Israel. So I'll have 2 cruise missiles, so. All right. Let me just take these to the battle board. Two infantry. Check that out real quick. Bring these 2 fighters over. I just got my order in from HBG with these flight stands, so I'm really excited to finally get these flight stands. So cool thing about these 3D units is that you don't even need to drill a hole into these units. I mean, you could literally just glue a magnet on the bottom of the unit and it dries pretty quickly. So I may do the rest of them tonight. But yeah, I don't. It's pointless to drill a hole in those. Get MBT, defend as 6. So I think we got everything there. And then I did tell Admiral Seabass that Egyptian Caliphate will go to NATO. All right. Zoom out here a little bit. So. Put my little dice tray here. Okay, so we are coming in with 2 infantry, 3 cruise missiles, an attack helicopter, 2 fighters, and 2 American fighters with a drone on one of the fighters. So let's go ahead and roll the 3 cruise missiles since they get to fire first. And they do have a target selected too, so 3 cruise missiles at 3. Okay, so I got a hit with a 1, and so I will target select the MBT here. So that will go. So he'll just have 3 infantry left for that battle. So I tell you what, I feel for the Commonwealth players that have to do, you know, all the nations in 36, you know, to have control of all 3 factions. It's a lot of work. So I feel for, you know, the Commonwealth players that play in 36. I see now what you mean by doing a lot of stuff. So I feel like this is a little bit more, but yeah. Let me get these cruise missiles out of the way, and then we'll go ahead into the rules for the attacks. So okay, so we got 2 at 2, 2 at 2. Those are both misses, a 5 and a 3. We've got a attack helicopter at 4. It's got a target select of 1. That's a 10. And then we've got 2 NATO fighters at 6. That is 2 hits. So I'm just going to put these over here as 2 hits. So I got a total of 2. And then I'm going to roll the fighter with the drone. So I'll roll 2 at 8. Okay, so that's a 6. Obviously, I'm going to choose that. And then I will roll the other fighter just to save face. So here is the other fighter at an 8. And that is a 2. So that's plenty hits that we need. And then we're going to go ahead and roll 3 Caliphate infantry at 4. Actually, let me check something real quick. I just want to check out one thing real quick. All right, cool. So nothing special for the Caliphate. So 3 at 4. Wow, they got no hits. 7, 11, and a 6. So we take Egyptian Caliphate with 2 infantry, an American attack helicopter, and then we've got 2 fighters, NATO fighters, and then 2 American fighters. And then my drone will have to go back. So we'll go back to Israel. So we take that. The income is adjustment of 2. So I'm just going to keep the camera there. So Caliphate will go back down to 16. NATO will go up to 32. Okay. And that is pretty much it over here in all of Europe. So I think I've done everything that I needed to do. Sorry if the light is glaring on here. I apologize. Let's go ahead and do this attack here in Southeast Asia. The Chinese have, like I said before, they got ABM. So they will have a chance to negate 6 of these cruise missiles if they roll a 4 or less. So we're going to do 1 at a time. So, all right. All right, so let's start out with the American cruise missiles. So first ABM. That's a 2, so that is out of the battle, so he negates that. And then we got the 5 cruise missiles for the Pacific Coalition. So second, that's a 10, so that's a failure. Third one, that's a 5. And then fourth one, that's a 12. And then, let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one here. That's a 2, so that one goes. And then I think he gets 1 more roll. And that's a 2. So we'll have a total of 3 cruise missiles going in to hit Southeast Asia. So pretty good rolls of negating 3 out of the 6, I must say. I think that's redemption for those rolls that you try to damage my air base. So, but yeah. So we got 3 cruise missiles here, 3 Pacific Coalition, and they're at 3 or less with a target selection of 2. So hopefully we get at least 1 hit, I would say. Nothing. Zada, zip, nada, whatever. Wow. Okay. That was really good on his part. Yeah, that could have been bad for either one of us. So failures all around. Let's see. Okay. And then let's go ahead and do this battle here in the Central Pacific. We've got a frigate and an American attack helicopter. So this is not involved in the battle at all. So, because these are the only ones that can attack subs. So we've got, again, their attack value is reduced to 2s. So we've got 2 at 2. So here, the target selection the same? Yeah, it is. So I'm going to roll it either way. These are misses at a 9 and an 8, so that Chinese sub will submerge. Okay. This battle here in Wake Island, we got a frigate and an American attack helicopters, so we'll try to kill that at least. So we got 2 at 2. Those are misses with a 12 and a 3. So that sub will submerge. And then we've got up here, we got this frigate and this attack helicopter with that Russian sub. Let's pick some different dice this time. Let's do, 2 at 2. Here we go. Come on, baby. Wow, okay. So misses all around, 9 and a 12. So all 3 subs will survive. I think that is it for all the combat. So let's just get into non-combat. Let's start over here on the left. We are going to, this fighter that has a 1 is going to land on the LHD here. So we can get rid of that. This drone is going to go back to, actually this drone is going to stay here on this LHD. Actually, let me kind of tilt this camera forward a little bit. Let me adjust it. There we go. Okay. So this fighter here has a movement of 2 left, so this will go back. It'll go 1, 2 on this super carrier. This fighter here also has a movement of 2, so this will go back on the super carrier. And this fighter has a movement of 3, so this will go back to, let's see, this will go back here, so I'm just going to put that there. Actually, I got to move this helicopter, so this will go back here. So we'll go, so 1, 2, nope, it has to go back here. So I can't make it there. This helicopter will go there. So I think that's it for the US on this side. Over here, these have a movement of 2 left. So because I'm gonna move these here, I'm gonna move that 1, 2 into this C zone here. So this will go here along with this super carrier, and I have enough to move this attack helicopter back. So we'll just go 1, 2 back onto the super carrier. Let's see. This drone has to go here to Eastern Canada. So we're going to put that drone right there. Okay. So I think that takes care of all of that. let's go ahead and do Scandinavia over here, move the state flags. So tell you what, boy, Admiral Seabass wasn't lying about an hour video. I'm at 40 minutes right now. So this drone here from England is going to go on this super carrier. This fighter is going to go on this LHD. This helicopter is going to go, it's got a movement of 2, so we're going to go 1, 2 back to England, as well as this helicopter as well. Actually, no, this was going to go 1, yeah, that's fine. Go back to England. This fighter is going to go 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're going to land this also in England. I don't want him sneaking in airborne, so that would suck. Anyway, yeah, I think that's pretty much it over here that we can do. Let's go ahead and go back to the Egyptian Caliphate, and we got to move these fighters back. So these fighters here will have this one will have a movement of 3. So we'll go 1, 2 to France, and then this one will go back on the LHD here if it wants to. There we go. And then these fighters here will go back on the super carrier. Actually, one's going to go back to Israel. And then this drone is going to go back to Israel. Actually, no, it's going to go on the super carrier, along with this attack helicopter. So there we go. That's what we got there. All right. Well, this thing wants to cooperate for me. I'm just going to put it right there. It's on the LHD. And this frigate here is going to move up 1. So, okay. All right. Over here, nothing really moved here. I don't think I'm going to move anything. I don't think so. Over here, this guided missile destroyer, it will go down. We'll go 1, 2 to Tasman Sea. This entire, this helicopter, well, I'm going to move this entire fleet to Hawaii. Hawaiian Islands area, so yeah, there we go. It's called Hawaiian Islands, so great. And this helicopter is going to come back on this LHD. This LHD is going to come as well. Along with this guided missile destroyer and this sub. And this fighter is going to fly to Hawaii. And I think with this LHD that it didn't have the attack helicopter, I think we're going to bring an infantry and an MBT to the Hawaiian Islands. If I'm able to do that before I land this helicopter back on. So this helicopter here in Wake Island is going to land in Hawaii. So let me get a chip out for this infantry. All right. sorry I knocked that over. That sucks. Sorry about that. That was my bad. Perfect. Okay. Let me check around to make sure everything's all good to go. Non-combat wise, I think everything that I have is okay that I've moved. So we need to do some sea lift, so we can sea lift 3 units at a movement of 8. So these 2 infantry will sea lift. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 into France. And then these 2 MBTs will be airlifted. And I can do an airlift 2 units of 8, movement of 8. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4 into France as well. This American infantry will move back 1. So let me go ahead and chip that out. These are long turns. Okay. All right. Let's see. What else do we got that we want to move? Let's move this MBT from France and this infantry into Germany. And let me get some chips. Just bring them over here. Sorry about this, guys. So I'll just take that off. I feel like these turns are going to be long the entire YouTube war, I have a feeling. All right, perfect. Okay. Otherwise, I don't really see anything else that we need to do. If I can think of anything, then I'll move it. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and go to place units. Let's do America first. 2 of the airborne are going to go in Alaska. All right. This other airborne is going to go, let's see. It's gonna go in, let's put it in Hawaii. I think I can put stuff in Hawaii. Yeah, I can. Let's put it in Hawaii. Okay. These 2 MBTs will go in Southwest United States. And these 2 infantry, 1 will go in Israel. So 1 will go in Israel. And then, let's see. You know what? I don't think the United States is at any threat. So how about this? This infantry will go here. These two MBTs will go over here instead. So there we go. So that is it for the U.S. replace units. Let's do NATO. So we've got. Let's count the infantry here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 7 infantry, and they are all going to go in Germany. Plus an MBT as well, since we are able to do so. Okay. So that is it for NATO and the U.S. placements. Now we got to do Pacific Coalition. Okay. All right, so Pacific Coalition, these 4 infantry are going to go in Korea, South Korea. And then the 5 infantry here are going to go in India. Okay. So that is it for place units. Let's go ahead and go to collect income. So Pacific Coalition will collect 26 plus the 2 that they saved. So they'll have 28 to spend next turn. NATO will have, okay. See, NATO is at 32, so I'll have 32 to collect. Plus the 1 that I saved. So that's 25, 30, 32, 33. We'll have to spend next turn. And the U.S. Yes. They'll have 46 to collect. 40, 45, 46. So they'll have 46 to collect plus the 1 that they saved. So $47 that we can spend next turn. So it was an okay turn. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. Hopefully I did everything correctly. I'm sure Admiral Seabass will notice any issues that I had with my turn. So like I said, I always enjoy the constructive criticism and, you know, what I could have done better. So let's go ahead and do disposition of forces. So starting over here. So in northern United States, we have a drone and an MBT. Here in southeast United States, we got 2 MBTs and 2 fighters. Here in U.S. East Coast, we got a super carrier with a fighter and a helicopter. Over here in mid-Atlantic, we got a NATO frigate. Here in eastern Canada, we got a drone and an infantry. Here in eastern Atlantic, we've got 2 frigates. I'm not even going to call them by their faction. I'm just going to name them what they are. So Admiral Seabass can look at the color and see which one is what. So we got an airborne in Panama. We got 5 infantry in Venezuela. Here in the Caribbean Sea, we got a sub, a guided missile destroyer, an LHD with a drone and a fighter. Over here in Egyptian Caliphate, we've got 2 infantry. Here in the Eastern Mediterranean, we got a sub, a frigate, a fighter, and an LHD. So there we go. Over here in the Red Sea, we've got ballistic submarine, frigate, a sub, a supercarrier with a drone, attack helicopter, and a fighter. Over here in Israel, we've got 3 IRBMs, an ADM, an MBT, and 5 infantry is what we got there. Over here in South Korea, we've got 8 infantry, a fighter, and an MBT. Here in Australia, we got a infantry. Here in Tasman Sea, we have a guided missile destroyer. Here in South China Sea, we've got 2 subs, 1 American, 1 Pacific Coalition. You know, I might as well just name what they are. In Central Pacific and Wake Island, we have 2 Pacific Coalition frigates. Up here in Alaska, we've got 3 airborne and a fighter. Here in North Pacific, we got a frigate. Here in Hawaiian Islands, we've got a sub. We got 2 LHDs with 2 attack helicopters on it. We've got 2 guided missile destroyers. We got a supercarrier with 2 fighters. And then Hawaiian Islands, we've got a fighter, MBT, 2 infantry, attack helicopter, and an airborne. And then over here, we've got an infantry in Southwest United States, an MBT, and an infantry in Northwest United States. Want to make sure that was correct. We also have a drone, 3 ICBM, and we got 3 ICBM here. And then U.S. West Coast, we have a ballistic submarine. Europe's next, so let's go ahead and finalize that with Europe here, and we should be all good to go. Over here in Italy, we've got an infantry. Here in France, we've got 3 U.S. infantry, 2 MBTs, and a NATO fighter and a drone. Here in Western Approaches, I think is what it's called, we got a ballistic submarine. Here in England, we've got 2 attack helicopters and a fighter. Here in the North Sea, I believe what it is, it's a ballistic submarine, supercarrier with a fighter, attack helicopter, and a drone, guided missile destroyer with an LHD and a fighter. You know what? I am going to switch these 2. Put that there, because I'll be able to scramble that into Germany. So, and then speaking of Germany, I have 11 infantry, 3 MBTs, and American infantry. Here in Scandinavia, I have 2 infantry and an airborne. I think that's it, guys. I believe that is it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys can take some strategy, I guess, from this turn. I mean, I don't know if this was correct, but I mean, it cuts off these 2 North African Caliphate territory here. So I think that was the correct move. I'm not really sure. It's my first time actually really playing this game. So other than that, guys, we will see you for turn 2 for the Eastern Pact planning phase, as well as their combat resolution turn. You guys take care.